speaking on my own behalf. My name is Aloy Ejimakor. I'm the special counsel to Mazi nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra. And I'm speaking to you from a location in Nigeria. The man, Mazi nnamdi Kanu, is well known. He's everywhere. He's on Wikipedia. He's an internationally acclaimed freedom fighter. But there's just a few things I need to tell you about him. What brought him to limelight was the formation of the indigenous people of Biafra in the United Kingdom in 2012. Simultaneously, he also founded Radio Biafra. And these two organizations were aimed at one thing: liberation for the people of Biafra, or restoration of the former Republic of Biafra that went defunct in 1970. The right to self-determination is a right that is guaranteed internationally, domestically, and continentally. It's within the black letters of Nigerian law at Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The right to self-determination is guaranteed. So the formation of IPOB did not break any law. Not laws of United Kingdom, not international law, not Nigerian law. But guess what? When Mazi nnamdi Kanu, who was born in Nigeria, but who acquired British citizenship later on, came to Nigeria in October 2015, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which had come to power in May, decided to arrest him. He was not arrested between 2012 and 2015 because the government of the day at that time understood that self-determination is not a crime. But the government that came into power in 2015 in May decided that self-determination is going to be treated as a criminal activity. So he was arrested in Lagos. He was charged for treason, also for insulting the president and illegal importation of ready equipment. 3 charges. The treason one, they split it into 2, treason by himself and treason by conspiracy. This thing went on from 2015 until April 2017, when he was eventually granted bail. So he was detained for nearly 18 months. After granting him bail, he returned to his ancestral home in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and he was enjoying his bail when suddenly, between 10 September and 14 September 2017, the Nigerian army, without any justification whatsoever, levied lethal, massive military operations against Mazi nnamdi Kanu's ancestral home. That day, he was sitting at home with so many people, his family members, including his 2 elderly parents. The attack was lightning, it was a bleak range, it was massive, and it was not the type of an attack you will expect a national military force to levy on a civilian location. But they did. At the end of the day, 28 people lost their lives. Mazi nnamdi Kanu sustained injuries. His parents sustained injuries as well, but somehow, by the grace of God, they all managed to escape. From there, the rest is history. And because there was a national and international manhunt for him by the security forces, which rules of engagement was to shoot, not to maim. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, if you encounter him anywhere, shoot not to maim. Not to maim, but shoot to kill. That's what they went there to do on 10 September, but they didn't succeed. But it went on. They went on in a manhunt. So Nnamdi Kanu was forced to flee the municipal boundaries of Nigeria in search of safe haven overseas. When Nnamdi Kanu was abducted on 19th June 2021, the proper thing that should have been done is to take him to a police station, from there to a court. And then if you wanted him back in Nigeria, you subject him to what is called extradition proceedings. This is a basic tenet of the law that you see in the laws of any nation. Kenya has an extradition act to which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should have been subjected. But guess what? They didn't do that. They rather disappeared him for 8 days, tortured him to their heart's content. And on 27th June, they secretly brought him out from this location and took him through the back doors, evading Kenyan immigration, direct to the tarmac of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, where a private plane was waiting. They bundled him into the plane, chained him to the chair, and everything. He endured 5-6 hours flight from Nairobi to Kenya in the most excruciating circumstances. They arrived in Nigeria late in the evening and the plane flew back to Nairobi. They took him to the headquarters of the National Intelligence Agency in Abuja, where he spent the first night with all the lights left on to assure his maximum discomfort. The following day, they transferred him to the headquarters of Directorate of State Security in Abuja. And on the third day, they brought him before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Federal High Court was well aware that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has counsel of record. It was an open case, it wasn't a new case, a pre-existing case. But the Federal High Court decided to conduct the arraignment in violation of his constitutional right to counsel, and that arraignment led to the indefinite detention with which we are struggling today. So while his criminal trial was making its way slowly at Abuja, with all the several amendments the government was bringing, they walked away from treasonable felony, insulting the president, importation of radio equipment, and bam, to terrorism. That's how it happened. And they did this 7 times. 7 amendments. They just want to get as many years of jail time out of him as possible, because they know that with the evidence available, conviction will be impossible. And that was made worse by the extraordinary rendition, which I took also as a civil violation to a federal high court in Nigeria. And in October 2022, the Federal High Court came down with a judgment that extraordinary rendition was a violation of his constitutional rights, his fundamental rights, and they awarded him 500 million Nigerian naira. That's about $800,000. So all around, everywhere that this matter has gone to, including in July 2022, before the Human Rights Council at the United Nations, the Human Rights Council, United Nations, came down with an opinion that what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and that brought him to Nigeria is a very grave violation of international law. And they directed that he should be released unconditionally. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. I thank you profusely, and I ask you to, when you leave Washington Press Club today, I want you to speak up for Biafrans, speak against their persecution, speak up for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and may God bless you for that. Again, my name is Aloy Ejimakor, Special Counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, speaking to you today, May 25th, 2023. Thank you very much.
Divorced Buhari in 2017. That is a shocking revelation coming from the wife of the former president of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari. You can see that there is tension in the Daura family. Muhammadu Daura and co are saying that Aisha is no longer part of the Buhari's family. Mazi, how can you react to that, sir?
Okay, let me tell you, it is a well orchestrated film, and it began to bring up much controversies in 2017 until Aisha Buhari, a lady I know that has gotten more than 2 master's degree, a well-educated woman. I'm telling you, I've been saying good things about him because I know she's well lettered. She went to school. Listen and listen good. When it matters most in 2018-19, Mama Daura Buhari's uncle actually found out that Aisha is no longer visible in the public functioning or even at Aso Rock. He now was very, very sad. Reasons why Aisha has been shuttling from Nigeria to UAE, that is Dubai. The only solution he actually arrived was, let me marry for Buhari. They all arrange it. When Aisha came back from UAE, what did she meet at Aso Rock, office of the presidency? A woman. She was welcomed by Buhari family, under the supervision of Mama Daura, Buhari's then nephew that died in Cuba. You know what? Aisha was introduced to the woman, and there was a serious fist bloody fights sprang up immediately at Aso Rock. Aisha Buhari's son, I think Yusuf, the other girl, Zara, and the rest of them, they were throwing punch at Daura family. It was a serious fight, and Aisha had to pursue the newly married, Fulani lady to the deceased. Why is it like this? Mama Daura actually know that Buhari was no more. So the new Buhari, they conspired against Aisha because Aisha was outside Nigeria, has been shuffling between Dubai, UAE. So now they want the younger woman to come back to meet the purported clone Buhari. As she came back, when she had the rumor that they have married no husband for the deceased, the dead man. She wanted to open up. She started shouting at Aso Rock. Aisha and Yusuf, Zara, they all wanted to open up that their father, the head of the family, the man, that is the major subject matter on the internet domain, Nigerian internet domain, Nigerian social media today, is gone. They started shouting it to everybody, every canal in Aso Rock, until Aisha was at least grabbed. It was calmed down by the Aso Rock authority with juicy promises. Then to the newly married lady to Buhari, she was abruptly, a matter of impromptu, shortly divorced to find her way. And that was how that issue was settled today. And they had to settle Aisha Buhari handsomely. And after that, ugly Jubril from Sudan, that one that wasn't handsome, they introduced Abubakar from Niger. If you doubt me, ask Mazi nnamdi Kanu. Abubakar from Niger came in, a very fresh-looking man. Sometimes he looked fat, sometimes he looks slim. If you look so closely on his face, sometimes he has 2 birthmark. They started playing the script, acting film and movies. No Nigerian man is much attentive because Nigerian politicians are all very, very minded, about money. They are money-minded people. The money they are making in the various offices are there. Truly. And let me tell you, Aisha actually turned his back on the new Buhari until the first one was introduced, and they started living together. But Aisha all through wasn't with the man. She has been, going to and fro, Dubai, Nigeria, and because she actually knew the secret, he would have preferred to mourn for her original husband. All these are secrets. Let me tell you, it was between Aso Rock cabals headed by Rufai, Mama Daura late, and Buhari himself until listed. Then and Aisha at least backed out. And today we've seen how everything is playing out. Immediately he finished his administration in 2023, nobody saw him again. He retired to Daura. Could that man be the original Buhari we know? Very fair, very healthy. All of a sudden, from 2023 to 24, barely 24 months, Buhari sick and die. Do you know how many years it took Yar'Adua to die as Nigerian president? He has been nursing that injury because that educated president was smoking cigarettes. Do you know how many years it took him to die? Do you know how many? Now, within 24 months, Buhari died. A healthy looking man. Abubakar from Nigeria actually starred the former Buhari, the former military head of state in Nigeria, in a film called Asurok Kabals movie. I'm telling you actually that every Nigerian knows what I'm saying, that this man died many years ago. That this is actually a well orchestrated, yes, perfected Nollywood film. Hollywood, if care is not taken, because it has to do with cloning. The Nollywood doesn't have that kind of device to carry out this film. Yes, it is a Hollywood film, and it's gonna be played out later in our history. Many good authors and writers will put it down in writing, and the whole world will see and witness it on writing, how a dead man successfully ruled Nigeria for 6 years. I'm telling you that I am not missing my word. I'm sure of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. Why? Why is it that each and every time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu goes to court, nobody could bring up the accusation that Buhari died and they cloned him, they buried him, and Aisha was wearing this and that, with many samples and the what? Reenactment on concrete, evidences on social media. Why not visit that case? They accuse him only Biafran translator. He orchestrated NSAS protest. He was doing this. He was. Why not that main point that Buhari died on February, March 2017? Why not that same accusation? Yes, a better information that is so indicting more than any other charges that are brought against Nnamdi Kanu. If you're a very intelligent Nigeria, you will actually know that the much shocking indictment on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court case is supposed to be his accusation of the former president, dying conniving with British oligarch or supremacists to clone him, so that Fulani will remain there. Why is it that Nigeria is not coming up with that charges? Why are they avoiding it? It's a reality. It's no longer farce. It's a reality. If you say it's an illusion, now you sabi. But I know that is a very tangible reality.
Okay, Mazi, thank you so much, sir. The Nigerian army has issued an ultimatum that this year there will be no Biafra's Heroes Day. This is a celebration set aside by the Indigos to honor those of their legends and their veterans who lost their life during the Biafra war. Welcome to this wonderful channel, to News Point TV. Please, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like this video. Please share, comment for more political discourse. The Nigerian army has come out to issue an ultimatum, say that nobody should come out and celebrate the Biafra Heroes Day. And the Southern governors too have told same parts, saying that nobody should come out and celebrate the Biafra Heroes Day. But now, the question and the subject matter of the day is that what has the Biafra, the remembrance of this day got to do with the how is it going to bring anarchy in the land? These men are not blind people. Last year, this celebration was old. Nobody lost their life. It is just a day to remember those who have lost their life during the Biafra Civil War. I think what the government needs to do at this point in time is that those who are orchestrating the evil in Nigerian state should be dealt with. The Fulanis have become a menace in our society, and yet the government are not even worried. The government did not even, they don't even worry about the Fulanis, yet they are more concerned what the IPOB want to do on the 30th of May. For me, it is misplaced priorities, because you have in a state where a particular ethnic group has become lord over billions of Nigerians, over millions of Nigerians, and yet nobody is saying anything towards that. Nobody is calling the Fulanis, calling them to order. Nobody is telling them that the Fulanis are treading in the wrong direction. But yet, they are using everything possible to oppress the Igbo man, to oppress their struggle, to oppress everything that belongs to them. The question is, how long can we continue in this contraption called Nigeria? Yes, how long can we continue in this contraption called Nigeria? The IPOB on their own has said that day nothing will stop that day. And they mean their words that nothing will stop the Biafra celebration day in the East. I'm not even against what the army have said, but I'm against the Southeastern governors who don't promote their own, who at every point in time antagonize their own thing. Antagonize their own thing. Are you telling me that in the north